Hey everyone, how you doing? This is Amon Green, Green Bay Packers all-time leader in rushing, and you're watching Packers Total Access Live, your daily source for Packer content. Go Pack, go!
What's up, guys? Welcome into Packers Total Access. My name is Clayton. You can check us out on packernet.com. Find me on Twitter at Packers_access. On this glorious December the 12th, we made it. It's Friday. Everybody getting geared up for the weekend, and more importantly, this awesome matchup between the Packers and the Broncos. Sunday, 3:25 Central kickoff in Denver. Weather's expected to be absolutely perfect, probably upper 50s to start the game, and maybe dipping into the 40s by the end of the game. So weather should not be a factor other than obviously the high altitude. Kicks will probably travel a little bit further. Passing game, you might have a little adjustment to make there. Obviously, the ball traveling a little bit different through the air than it does in Green Bay, Wisconsin. We're expecting the boys to figure it out and go out there and get a dub against Denver. I think it's going to be a great game. And we got great news here just a few minutes ago, really, as everybody was tweeting out from practice earlier today, about an hour ago, I guess it was. Great news on the injury front. We'll dive into all of that. We'll also talk a little Josh Jacobs, give you an update on him. And we will kind of lay out how Josh Jacobs and this Packers running attack may stack up against an awesome Denver Broncos defense. I think it's going to be a great matchup this weekend. So before we do, if you guys would do that YouTube stuff for me, hit like, hit subscribe. If this is your first time tuning into PTA, welcome. Thank you for making us a part of your day. We're not experts. We're not insiders. We're not media members. We're fans just like you talking Packers on a daily basis. So if you're looking for that type of content, you want breaking news as it happens, make sure you hit subscribe and click that bell icon so you're notified whenever we do go live to break said news. And anybody in the chat, if you guys would do me a big favor, I see everybody filing in here, smash that like button for somebody. Let me know in the chat. Are we spinning that football today, or is it a soccer ball again? Because I'm going to be emailing. I repeat, emailing YouTube as if they ever respond. But please tell me it's a football. I need confirmation right now in the chat. Is it a football or is it a soccer ball? We got a football back. Ron Sample confirms. That's what I'm talking about, Ron. Appreciate you guys. Chester, everybody in the chat. Thank y'all so much for that. Let's waste no time, man. Let's get into it. Josh Jacobs back at practice. Shout out to Bill Huber. Everyone on the 53 is practicing. His tweet says here, got a little bit of video of Josh Jacobs working on the jump shot a little bit in practice. My man looking good out there, right? He got the shiesty on. He's good to go. Got the braids slightly hanging out from under the shiesty. For those of you listening on the pod that can't see this, looks good. He's limited, obviously, limited fashion. We didn't expect him to go out there and just go 110%. We kind of felt like this was the plan moving forward. I don't care if he practices full practice the rest of the year, right? Keep him as healthy as possible. Obviously, the knee keeps swelling up on him. We went into great detail yesterday on Josh Jacobs and what he means to this team and how it sucks to see a player dealing with a knee that continuously swells up like that. Hopefully, the worst part of that is behind us. But, man, he goes out there week in and week out and lays it on the line for the Green Bay Packers. I think he's definitely a top 3 most important player on this team. Definitely on offense, possibly on the entire team. You know, you think of Jordan Love obviously being the key cog in this whole thing. You've got Micah Parsons, who's been absolutely dominant, drawing all kinds of extra attention, still getting to the quarterback, been great in the run game, even though Jared Jones said he wasn't. And then, you know, you think of somebody like Josh Jacobs, man, it's hard to think of another player on this team that might be more important right now. Because, again, when the game's on the line, think player, not play. And that's definitely something that's come into play as you know, we defeated the Chicago Bears last week, man. There was 5 minutes and 20 seconds left, right, in the fourth quarter, in the entire game, a 3rd and 1, a crucial 3rd and 1. And if you guys remember, Josh Jacobs got a toss play to the right, 4 defenders in the backfield before he could even make his cut, and somehow, some way made it through and left that wreckage behind. We're going to play the audio from Fox NFL. This was Tom Brady on the call with that. Listen to Tom Brady, the GOAT, you know, all everything quarterback, right? Listen to him lose his mind over this Josh Jacobs run. Here we go.
Green Bay. Get to the outside. Jacobs, can he get there? Swing. He breaks through. Josh Jacobs taken down by the 5 by Byard. Oh, what a special run. 30, make it 21 yards.
How did he do that? Trying to outrace him to the corner, but there's 4 Bears there. There's Sweat, Johnson, Gardner Johnson, and they all come in thinking the other guys got him, and Jacobs just splits it. Byard has to ultimately get him down. What a run by Jacobs.
I love Brady. How did he do that? Love the just raw emotion, the reaction there to Josh Jacobs. And you know, the thing that goes kind of unnoticed in some cases in that situation is as he braced for the contact, you've seen him protect that ball with both hands, lower the inside shoulder. He was ready to absorb contact and just fall forward for the first down. Kept his legs moving just like they teach it, protected the ball with both hands just like they teach it. That was the thing that stood out to me the most that nobody's talking about is how he had the awareness to foot in the ground, dodge 4 defenders, absorb the contact, but still protect the football, knowing it's a 3rd and 1 and you're probably going for it if you don't pick it up on 4th down. End up taking what should have been a loss of 3 yards and turns it into a 21-yard gain. You can't put a price tag on the value of Josh Jacobs with this football team. He's a leader in the locker room. He's a leader outside of the locker room. He's a guy who's going to lead on the football field. He refuses to miss games. He's the total package. He's the total package. And again, you got to tip your cap to Brian Gutekunst. It was so hard to say goodbye. No, we're not singing Boys to Men here. All right. Is that Boys to Men? I don't even know, man. See, I'm dating myself a little bit. Confirm in the chat. Was that It's So Hard to Say Goodbye? Was that a Boys to Men or was that one of those knockoff Boys to Men bands back in the 90s? Let me know in the chat. It's so hard to say goodbye to Aaron Jones. I'm going to think about that. I can hear it in my head now every time I say it. To say goodbye to Aaron Jones and move on to Josh Jacobs, right? And at the time, it's like, oh, we got them both. All right, we got it right. Look at how about a redneck known as Boys to Men reference? Let's go. Thank you for that, Chris. Appreciate you, buddy. You let Aaron Jones go. We thought we had them both for a minute, and obviously they decide, all right, let's move on from Aaron Jones, go to Josh Jacobs. Look at what Jonesy's doing. No disrespect to Jonesy, one of my favorite players all time. Look at what he's doing, struggling, tough to stay healthy, right? And then you look at what Josh Jacobs has done since he came to the Green Bay Packers. Every single year, he's got 10-plus touchdowns, right? He's been effective in the passing game, not so much this year, but last year, man, he was dominant in the passing game, catching the ball out of the backfield. And as you can see here, sent a tweet out just a few minutes ago, Josh Jacobs is currently the 4th highest graded running back according to PFF. So here are your top running backs in the league. The Detroit Lions, Jahmyr Gibbs with a 90.6. Kenneth Walker III in Seattle. You want to know why they're doing so well? That's a key cog in their whole operation. At 89.4 for Seattle's running back. Devon Achane down in Miami at 87.0. And then your Josh Jacobs with an 85.7. He's got an 82.8 run grade, 88.6 receiving grade. Let's freaking go. Number 5, we watched last night, Bijan Robinson, as the Atlanta Falcons obviously upset the Tampa Bay Buccaneers, who are in absolute tailspin. Those guys are dive bombing away from the NFC playoffs. We'll see how that plays out on down the road. They have a good running back in Rachaad White with an 82.0. Zach Charbonnet with Seattle. So it's a two-headed monster up there. I'm not sure if both of those guys are still healthy or not. I think Walker is. Maybe Charbonnet is as well. They're doing something right in the run game there with an 81.6 for their second best back. And then Kyron Williams, Notre Dame's finest with the LA Rams, 80.7. Cam Scatterbo is still sitting up there with that 80.5. Shaking my head, man. Such a shame to see Scatterbo go down so early, man. He was so much fun to watch. James Cook with the Buffalo Bills, 78.4. And Jonathan Taylor, Wisconsin's finest, with a 78.4 up there in Indy. Obviously been a key role player there in the Colts, putting themselves in a position now with a 44-year-old Phillip Rivers to try to go on this playoff run. But again, Josh Jacobs, the 4th highest graded running back in the entire National Football League. It is absolutely awesome that you got that guy you can lean on. And here's the other thing, man. If you have to pull away from Jacobs a little bit, we have all the faith in the world in Emmanuel Wilson, right? Now, game on the line, that 3rd and 1 play, I'm not saying Emmanuel Wilson wouldn't have picked that up and made 4 guys miss, but I know this. If I had to choose between the two, I want Josh Jacobs on that football field. I want him with the pigskin in his hand with the game on the freaking line. We know he wants the ball in his hands. Not that Emmanuel don't. Emmanuel Wilson, he will. One of the best running backs, backup running backs in the league right now for sure. So it's a lot of fun, man, to see this roster that they put together. The youngest roster in the league, although Josh Jacobs is one of the veterans on the team. You love the fact that he's a team leader that he is. Now, another important statistic here that we need to mention, the Broncos have the number 1 run defense in the NFL, allowing only 3.7 yards per rush attempt. Now, if we were to compare that to Josh Jacobs' numbers, I believe, according to NFL Pros data, Josh Jacobs is averaging 4 yards per carry. Denver Broncos are only giving up 3.7 yards per carry. Something's got to give, right? And you think that's not much of a difference, Clayton. I agree, but still, if Josh Jacobs cracks the 4 yards per carry mark over Denver's absolutely excellent rush defense, then it really tells you how this Green Bay offense is starting to ascend as you're going toward the end of the year. Because we know they've struggled to run the football all year long, right? When you look at the rush grades across the board, for the most part, the run blocking grades, I should say, according to PFF, when you look at some of the other analytics, it feels like the Packers are probably around the 20 mark in running the football. But Josh Jacobs, with the game on the line, somehow finds a way to make things happen. And obviously, the big thing that Josh Jacobs is really good at is getting in the end zone, right? And we won't play the clip here for you. Actually, we will. Let's just go ahead and hit the audio for you guys and gals real quick. I think we can pull this off. This was his rushing touchdown later in that drive after he had that great run, right? This was him scoring the go-ahead touchdown, 3rd and goal, 3:36 left in the 4th quarter. Here was Tom Brady on the call here from Fox NFL. This was the go-ahead touchdown from our boy, Josh Jacobs.
3rd and goal. It is Jacobs plowing up the middle. Josh Jacobs is in. Touchdown, Packers.
You could see he just was not going to be denied, man. This dude, they had him dead right there at the goal line, and our boy just punched it in, no problem. He runs into the back of the line, into the defenders, does a little mini alligator roll, rolls right off to his left, right in the end zone. I don't know why I ever doubted him again. You get him inside the 5, get Josh Jacobs a freaking football, and then if they want to load the box extremely unrealistically, right, and just say, all right, we're selling out to the run, tag a little RPO on it, which they had here at the top of the screen. Romeo Doubs actually had a bubble, so they had an RPO on there. So it was a 21 RPO Z bubble, is I think what the call probably was. He was in the 3, if you want to say he's the X. We can agree to disagree there, but nonetheless, Romeo Doubs had a bubble attached. So if I feel like he probably had the hat count. Jordan had the hat count up here. He had the numbers. He could have thrown the bubble. But when you got Josh Jacobs in the backfield with the game on the line, don't even sweat. Don't even sweat, Jordan. Give the ball to Josh. Let JJ run that thing in there and make things happen. Now, something else is attached to this tweet. Josh Jacobs currently ranks 3rd in the NFL with 12 rushing touchdowns. Denver is tied with Green Bay for the 5th best, allowing 0.7 rushing touchdowns per game. So what's that tell you? The Packers and the Broncos on the defensive side of the ball are tied for not allowing rushing touchdowns at a 5th best in the league, 0.7 rushing touchdowns per game. Easy math, less than 1 rushing touchdown per game is what these teams are averaging giving up. Now, Josh Jacobs, 3rd in the NFL with 12 rushing touchdowns, just like the 4 yards per carry against the 3.7 allowed. Something's got to give here, right? I'm telling you guys, this game is going to be absolutely awesome. I think it's going to come down to a final drive. It might be even less than a field goal that decides this game. I think it's going to be one of those we look back on and go, damn, that might be the game of the year. We talked about that with the Dallas game that ended in a tie. It was a big shootout. I think this one could be a low-scoring affair, kind of like the Philly game earlier this year, possibly. But if Jordan keeps playing the way he's playing, who knows, man? Maybe the Packers can go out there and stun the world and win a 2 or a 3-score game. The other thing that could happen, Denver could get hot again, right? And they could beat us by a couple scores. Well, guess what? Now you've got that on tape if you run back into them in the Super Bowl, and also you got some stuff that you can build off of. The Packers can lose 2 more games the rest of the way here. I really like the way we're sitting. Just got to go out there and take care of business. Hearing Matt LaFleur talk at his presser, he is dialed in. You can tell he's got these guys focused. I'm so excited to watch this game. I love what he said. You notice the difference between Matt LaFleur and how he handles the media and Ben Johnson, how he handled the media? Remember Ben Johnson got the job and just raked Matt LaFleur over the coals, tried to make him a laughingstock of the NFC North. What did Matt LaFleur do? Kept his mouth shut, kept his head down. We have now swept everybody in the NFC North up to this point. And then how did he approach this game going up against Sean Payton, one of the all-time great head coaches? He talked about how much respect he had for Sean Payton. He talked about everything he had accomplished in the league. He tipped his cap to Sean Payton. That's how a head coach should respond. Not a little whiny-ass Ben Johnson that wants to stir the pot and try to draw attention to himself. Well, he don't like attention, Clayton. Okay. I guess he's not the coach that took his shirt off in the locker room and danced around a bunch of other sweaty men either, right? I mean, I don't know. Maybe there's something there that he wants the attention, right? He wants everything to be about him. But again, I think it's hilarious that you've got that guy who thinks he's already conquered the world when he ain't won anything yet, comes into the league running that mouth. You got Matt LaFleur, who's the 11th all-time winningest coach in terms of winning percentage. He just passed Paul Brown in wins, by the way. Unbelievable. If you don't know who Paul Brown is, as soon as we end this broadcast, you're on YouTube, search Paul Brown of Football Life, crack open a daddy soda, and enjoy the show. One of the great football minds that paved the way for the National Football League. Yeah, Matt LaFleur is in that company right now. He just needs the championship to go along with it. So, again, I think it's going to be a great matchup between two great head coaches. I think you've got a very, very good young quarterback in Bo Nix. He's grading out somewhere around the 73 or 75 mark, somewhere around 12 to 15 in terms of quarterback rankings. Jordan Love is currently playing like a top 3 MVP caliber quarterback. He's skyrocketing up the MVP conversation. So you got two good quarterbacks going at it, two great head coaches going at it. You got two good running, I want to say two good running games, but they've got a really good running game, a top 10 running game. Ours is struggle, but Josh Jacobs, one of the best backs in the league. We got two solid run defenses, two solid pass defenses. This is going to be one for the ages, man. So I want to know what you guys think about Josh Jacobs coming back from the injury. Do you think he's good to go Sunday? Again, we're not out of the woods yet, but it's looking really, really good that Josh Jacobs is going to be ready to go just like he was Chicago, and thank God he was last week. Let us know in the comments what you think. Make sure you hit like, spin that pigskin for us. Hit that like button. Enjoy the show, all right? Hit sub. Make sure you click the bell icon so you're notified when we go live in the future. Maybe going live if news breaks here later on this afternoon, or if I just get bored and want to talk ball with y'all, we may smash that go live button again. So appreciate everybody. My name's Clayton. This is PTA. Go Pack, go.
Here we go.
Bye, guys.